Grid. It is our Blind Photo Critiques Day. And joining me, as always, is Kyrgyzstani astrophotographer Erik the Real Man, Rocket Man, Vietnam, Canaham, Erik Kuna. We've got some sweet giveaways today that you can pass off to others as holiday gifts, and they'll never know. And it all starts in just 30 seconds.
The Grid is brought to you by Platypod, the tripod alternative that is changing the world. Everybody has a Platypod. You should too. Go to platypod.com.
That link.
Hey, everybody. Happy holidays and welcome to The Grid. Scott Kelby here with Mr. Erik, the E-Man Kuna. Hi, Mr. Kuna.
Hey, how's it going, Scott?
Well, it's going quite well. So, Erik, I'm going to tell them up front what's going on this week because it's different. Because of the holidays.
I mean, it's holidays. It's holiday madness.
It's holiday madness. We are doing a part 1 and part 2 of these blind photo critiques.
Yes, we're going to get through tons of them.
We've got a lot of them. So we're going to do part 1 this week, and we're going to do part 2 next week, which is our holiday show. What's that, on the 23rd? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's right before Christmas, so we're going to do that. Now, there is a possibility that it won't air live. There's a possibility that we'll tape it today and air it then. I'm just saying it's possible.
Or a possibility that if you stick around, you'll see it, and then if you stick around next week, you'll see it. Who knows?
Yeah, but I think next week there'll be a new show you haven't seen. Next week. But anyway, we're looking forward to it. We've got lots of images. I saw the images. Of course, I always see the images. I try not to look at the names because I just want to see the images. We have some very interesting photos today.
Oh, yeah?
I would say
I haven't seen them yet, so
they're actually, it's a really good group. There was like nobody turned in trash. Like it was everybody, and a lot of entries.
Crazy dual tones or nobody
like over HDR
or just a snapshot of somebody.
No, I'm telling you, Erik, I went through so many of them, and there was like really good stuff. Really good stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. What else is going on? I don't know if you've been watching my blog, but on my blog, I've been doing some gifts like every day. Like I keep coming up with more gifts and more gifts for the holidays. So if you go to scottkelby.com and check that out, I've been putting a lot of gifts. Of course, I've been also doing my lightroomkillertips.com blog. If you're into Lightroom, make sure you head over there. We post Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Thursdays, we're just like, eh. But the rest of the days, me or Rob Sylvan are posting over there, so go check that out. What else? Let's talk about giveaways real quick. You ready, Mr. K?
Yeah. Here, I'll actually put my phone in my little...
Oh, you're using that.
Yeah.
That thing that was in our gear guide.
Yeah, that was the gear guide. I love this thing.
I know, that's the nicest little thing.
There you go.
For those of you that missed our holiday show, Erik, this is one of his picks, which is an incredible...
Well, yeah, it was actually one of Terry's, but we both were on the same wavelength.
Oh, that's right. So. That's right. It was one of Terry's, but it is it fits in your wallet, and you pop it out.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's a little pocket tripod. It's called the Pocket Tripod Pro.
But the thing that's different about this one than all the rest, besides that it's pocket size, is that you can angle it.
Yes, you can angle it, and then it folds right back up to just a credit card.
That's crazy. That's nuts.
Really cool.
We're not giving that away, though.
No.
Here's what we are giving away right here. A Lytra 2.0. Lytra, smart, bright little light, like brighter than heck. We're giving one of those away. All right, so there's that. Some new things from Valerie Jardin. This brand new book on street photography assignments. Brand new from our friends at Rocky Nook. We're giving one of those away today. And this one, I haven't seen this. This is brand new, but I love the author. He's one of my very favorite authors and very favorite photographers. Roberto, I can't believe my water didn't spill. Oh, it did spill a little. Not too bad.
So close.
Roberto Valenzuela. So Roberto is just an amazing photographer, and he's had picture-perfect posing and picture-perfect pictures and all. And this is his new one on building your business. It's called The Successful Professional Photographer. He is that, and he can share a lot with you. I don't know which camera to look at. That one. They keep changing. Anyway, we're going to be giving away that today. Great book from him. What else we got? Boris FX is giving away a copy of their optics. It was in my holiday gear guide, their optics plug-in. Erik and I were talking about this last week. their plugin does what no other plugin does. Like all the other plugins kind of do the same thing. You know, now Luminar started to stretch out into some new things with their sun rays and all that kind of stuff. But
they're
Boris
very much
effects,
into those effects.
Yeah.
Like that's the Boris FX, it's effects. So if you want those effects, lens flares, some kind of
lightning.
rendered look, even like rendering like lightning or clouds or planets.
Yeah,
anything.
I think we got an ad from them later. You can see it.
Yeah,
it's really good, and people are loving it. People that have bought it have sent me emails like, "Oh my gosh, this thing is amazing!" So anyway, we're giving away that. We're also giving away a Slick Pick portfolio. So that is Slick Pick makes websites for photographers, and they're really, really good, and they help you make them too. So their portfolio level, they actually assign a designer and help you make it. So that's all coming up. Let's see what else. They're still giving a deal. But the big deal that they gave, which was 50% off, is over. We told you it was ending.
Yeah, we told you.
And now they're still giving 25% off, which is more than most people would give.
Yes.
But still,
the 50% off, it was very popular. Let's put it that way.
Very, very popular.
So popular that it's 25% off now.
Yeah, it's so popular. All right. What else do we got? We're giving away a pair of Platypod goosenecks. We must have enough of these because we give them away every week. We're giving away more Platypod goosenecks. Everybody loves them. People love them. And you'll get to tell us which one you want to win. Erik, tell them how they can win.
That's all they got to do. All they got to do, just leave a comment wherever you're watching. Tell us what you want to win, and we'll enter you in the contest. So there you go.
There you go. Bob's your uncle. All right. So today is Blind Photo Critique Day. We've asked our viewers, our watchers, our viewers to send in some of their favorite picks. And again, we're doing a part 1 and part 2. We have so many. We're going to cover them. And let's just dive right in. And Erik hasn't seen any of these, but I think he will enjoy them. So let's take a look real quick at the and here we go. Here's 3, here's 1. And 2. And 3. So if I may go.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, first off, I think you got 2 out of 3 winners here. So this is a fine art photo right here, right? This is fine art. This is fine art. This is a travel shot in black and white. Your fine art stuff is really clever and good. Go with the fine art.
Yes, but the travel shot in the middle in black and white is still a nice photo.
It's a very nice photo,
it's just, I think when you put it against the other two, that's where you're having.
So I give you big props for how you displayed these photos with a nice big white border. They look very professional, slick. But like the birds with the plane in the background, I mean, that's a shot you sell, and that's a shot. You're not going to sell a shot of San Francisco. No. But the other 2 are very saleable. You could see that hanging in a hotel or in offices or in your home, in a gallery. You could see those. This is a very nice shot of San Francisco. But I'm telling you, you're onto something here. You're onto something there.
Yeah, like do more of that.
Yes.
The other stuff's great. Or the picture of San Francisco is fine.
Yeah, I got nothing wrong to say with this
photo. The other
photo.
stuff is great. You know, like that's really
this
good
stuff is like
art.
next level stuff.
Yeah.
Next level. It's San Francisco.
Yeah.
Hey, look, it's Golden Gate.
It's good.
All right. So anyway, that's what I would say. Other than that, I like your post-processing. I love your borders and your presentation. How you present makes a big difference.
Yeah,
and I think
you can tell it's the same photographer.
Yep.
Even though that one in the middle, you still can tell it's the same photographer.
Yep.
So.
Well done. Good. Hey, we're off to a great start. That's a really
awesome.
That's a good one. I love to see
that was
stuff
a good
like
way to
that.
Start.
I love to see that. And I'm like, All right. Let's see what we have next here.
Oh, so far the thumbnails are okay.
I'm sorry?
The thumbnails look okay. That's always when you can tell in the thumbnails.
Yeah, if the thumbnails look good. Good pictures look good even when they're tiny.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, these are all very nice.
Yeah.
This looks like a fisheye shot or a super wide angle.
Wide angle,
maybe an ultra wide angle. But that's very interesting. Must be Rio, right?
Yes. Well, somewhere cool, somewhere you want to be.
Somewhere cool. All right. This is a nice Milky Way with a slightly crooked horizon line.
And that's actually a very hard shot. I've done this before because see how they have the crescent moon down there in the horizon? So they have the moon and the Milky Way in the same frame. That's a very hard to pull off that exposure.
All right, but let me ask you a question. You sure this isn't two completely shots merged together?
It could be.
Because look at this merging area here.
It could be.
Right here. There, look at this. It's a blend.
It could be, but you also have that where you have the setting.
Also, can I ask you this? Look, you have one there.
Oh, so, yeah, zoom in on that.
I don't know if I can. Well, I can
go to... That is odd. Yeah, that's not right.
Yeah, also the stars are moving.
Yeah, now, well, that's just, your stars are trailing. It's a little long. Well, actually, no. You're right. It is a composite. And the reason I can tell it's a composite, look at the shutter speed there.
Yeah, it's 1/160th of a second.
So that was the original, the blended photo. Then there was a longer exposure. One. So there you go. Yep. It definitely, but I like
still
it.
Still well done.
Hey, still well done. You know, honestly, with the Milky Way shot, those little bits of trails there, when you zoom in, yes, you see it. Really, how are you going to view the photo? Usually, you're going to view the photo pretty well back. Yep. So that letting those stars trail a little bit lets in a little bit more light, makes the stars more pronounced. It can be okay.
All right.
So.
And I like this one.
I like this one.
It's a nice shot.
Leading line right down the center.
Yep. So. Nicely done. All good. Good photographer, right? Yeah. All the way around. Good. And that's like a travel shot. They're all good. And we're off to a good start. All right. Different photographer, different stuff. Well, these could not be more different from each other.
Yeah, this is like versus the first one where we were saying a consistent, that when you go and you click between them, you're like, what's your style?
It could be three completely different photographers took these shots. Now, they're all good shots. This is my favorite by far.
That's my favorite.
That's a very nice picture. That's
great.
I love the light, the way it's coming from the side and hitting the lighthouse and the house.
The lighthouse is and the comparison
and it's
to the
an
mountains.
Interesting location.
Yeah.
Now, if it were me, I would remove this pole and the wire. That's doing nothing for this shot. And yes, it's what's there.
And it's so easy to get rid of.
Oh, my goodness. You get rid of that thing in 2 seconds with a healing brush. And that would make this a stronger photo, but nice.
Now, unless you were saying you were going to do like a story on that lighthouse for like National Geographic or some photojournalism thing, then yes, don't remove the pole. But if you're doing it for yourself or to print or for a photography, take the pole out.
Here, let's do that. Take the pole out. Take the pole out. Take the wires out. Take the wires out. Okay, done.
Yeah, that's it.
Now, the other two flagpoles are fine. You might even take the second one out. That's not helping much. Doesn't have a flag on it.
But they're not as distracting as that one.
Yeah, I think I'd even take that.
That's huge right there. Just taking out that.
Yeah.
Simplify.
And it's such a nice picture. Yeah. Such a nice picture. Okay, now that being said, let's go back over here to this. This on its own is a nice shot.
Yeah.
But you know what? I got to be honest with you. If it were me, I would take out this whole assembly here. This whole big thing that's over here, this tower or whatever the heck it is, that's not helping the shot. And it's easy enough. It would take you a minute to get rid of it, but it'd be worth it.
That'll be a little, I mean, you can get rid of it though.
Oh, yeah.
No problem.
Here, let's try, shall we?
It's going to take a little bit, but you can get rid of it.
No, I think with, hang on, it didn't open. Let me figure out where it went to. All right, cancel that. Did it open? Here we go. Here comes the horsey. All right, so I would probably do it in chunks, but let's just see. Can we do this top part with content aware fill? Close enough. Can we do the next part? Hit the wrong button. Oh, come on, stop that. Here we go. All right, that's not awesome.
Yeah, not awesome.
No, but we're getting there. Remember, content aware fill isn't perfect.
No,
it just does a lot of the work for you.
It gets you like 80%, 90% there.
Yeah. All right, look at that. We're almost.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Give it a sec. Let's get rid of this one. Get rid of this one, and then just a little cleanup after that. Like I can see some stuff in here that needs to go. You know what I do for cleanup though in these Photoshoppy things like this? I'll go to the patch tool and say, yeah, this is kind of funky right in here, and just drag it straight over. Look at that. You see how that fixed it? See how it's funky down here? Drag it straight over, and that'll usually, there's a little line there where I hit the edge. Get rid of that little funky stuff. Get rid of this little funky stuff. Yeah, dude, it wouldn't take you very much.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Wouldn't take you very much to get rid of that, and that would help that shot a lot. All right, so besides that, you got this last one. This is so out of character with the other two. The other two were like creative art, and now you've got like a snowmobile race. It's interesting.
I mean, it's interesting. You know, you waited for the peak moment of action. It's not boring. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I just don't know what to say about it. It's okay. Yeah. It's kind of a busy.
It is. It's.
I would love to see this shot with just one guy, like just this one flying way up there. But
or even that 3, if you were in that 3 1, 2, 3 there. But you're right. That one guy to the left, if you were just in on that, that'd be cool.
All right, let's roll on. It's good stuff, though.
Yeah.
But little things you can do there to make a big difference. I think that's either Iceland
I think that's Norway.
Or I was going to say either Iceland, Norway, or the Faroe Islands.
Could be.
So here's the thing. You need a little work on this stuff. It's not bad, but it's not really good either. It's just kind of in that I was there.
I took a tour bus out there and I'm just there at the wrong time.
So, so this one, this could have been nice because compositionally wise, so photography wise, look what you did. You got a foreground, you got a middle ground. The thing's not in the middle. You put it off to the side. Yep. You did a lot of nice things. Mm-hmm. But you shot it at the worst possible time of day. Now, I know, guys, I've heard it a million times. But that's when we were there. We couldn't help it.
But that's how those photos look.
And that's how those photos look.
That's exactly what those photos look like. They look like you got out of the tour bus. They said, hey, look at that over there. It's pretty, isn't it? It's like, yes, it is pretty.
All right, I'm going to tell you what I do in these situations.
I mean, this is the thing with photography. And this is like, I'm sorry, people, but like photography is hard. Especially this type of photography, like you have to be there at the right light for it to be beautiful. That's what it is.
It is. I'll tell you what I do in these cases like this. Yep. When you have this bright, super ick thing, go and lower the exposure. Now, I would normally do this in my camera. I'd look through my camera and go, yikes, and I would underexpose by at least a stop. But now you can go into camera raw, let's go to the exposure, and just bring it down so it's not so egregious. So look at that.
Yeah, that's the big start, and that's what I would do in these situations. If I'm forced to shoot those times, I'm with you. I'm a stop to 2 stops underexposed always.
We're a stop and a quarter there. Then I'm going to pull back the highlights some too to help. So that'll at least kind of get you to where it's. Let me see if I can show before and after. I never remember how in the new camera.
It gets you in that ballpark of like, okay, it's not screaming hot middle of the day.
Right, it doesn't look so out. Yeah, and then you could open up the shadows a little if you wanted to see the little church a little bit more. Mm-hmm. There we go. That's certainly better. And then of course, I would probably throw. I would do a lot to it, but I would throw a little neutral density. I mean, let's start with just a vignette. I would throw a neutral density on the sky, but let's just darken the edges just a tad, just a little bit. But anyway. You did it right compositionally. You just got a lot of things working against you, but you could get it to where it's an okay travel picture.
Well, and you know what's interesting is so we don't really look at the histograms much, but if you go back to where what you made the histogram look like versus where it was, that's really what it comes down to. When you shoot in the middle of the day, you get this like just wide berth. There's no drama. There's no direction to the light. It's just blasted with light.
Hey, if you care about these sheep, and apparently you do, let's get in on those sheep. Let's at least get them a little bit more prominent in the picture. So now, at least now you can see, oh, there's sheep. And I lowered the same thing I did. I increased the contrast, and we're going to lower the exposure a bit. It's not going to be great. Warm it up a tad. But It's slightly better.
That's about the best you can do.
But what I would tell you, so if you said, so Scott, what would make me a better photographer? Number one, shoot at a better time of day. And then you need to kind of take what you did with that church as far as compositionally and apply it to this. I'm not even sure what the subject is here. Is it that lake in the background? Is it the sheep? Because it's not the sheep are kind of like a sideshow.
Well, the sheep are also too far away.
Yeah.
With that looks like a 16, 15 millimeter. It looks pretty wide.
Yeah, it needs some work. The last one looks like you're on vacation. It's a not a bad vacation shot. The lighting is a little better, but yeah. You know what? We have something that will help you coming up on the break.
Yeah.
All right. So well, I guess we're going to go ahead and take that break.
Yeah,
okay.
We need to take that break.
The person that sent that in, I want you to watch this next thing very carefully. I promise you it will help you and open your eyes. Take a look.
Close your eyes and picture a faraway place you've never been. What city or country comes to mind? Paris? Venice? The Grand Canyon? Maybe it's Morocco, Rio, New York, or Hawaii. Now let's go a little bit deeper. Can you picture the delicious food there? What the people are wearing? Picture their smiles, the architecture, the museums. Don't forget the busy shopping streets and charming cafes. You can almost smell the delicious coffee and fresh baked bread. Vivid images like this can be more than just in your mind. They can be in your hands. That's why we love looking at travel photography and being able to capture travel images that are so captivating that they make people long to go there themselves, right there. That's truly a gift. When you create photos like these, you've inspired the viewer to seek out these new horizons, to have these wonderful experiences for themselves, and see these remarkable places in person. Creating beautiful travel images isn't luck. It's camera technique, it's creative expression, it's light and composition. And it's what you do after, in fact, in post-processing, that it all comes together to create simply unforgettable photographs. This January, you'll have an opportunity to learn for yourself exactly how it's all done, all online, where for 2 days, in 2 training tracks, you can totally immerse yourself in learning exactly how to create travel images that inspire, move, and impress. These photography masters will be sharing their latest techniques, their hard-earned secrets, and their post-processing wizardry during an event that will change the way you create travel images forever. All presented online, affordable and accessible. And it's for everyone who loves to travel and dreams of returning home with stunning images that capture the essence of their journey. This is the Travel Photography Conference, coming January 20th and 21. Your tour to making better travel images is about to take off.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by B&H Photo, the professional source since 1973.
Hey folks, we are back. We're doing blind photo critiques. We got a couple of shout outs. We got some folks watching from all over. We want to welcome them. Mr. Kuna?
Oh, yeah. So
you can't see.
You can't see it.
I can do it.
Yeah, I think it's Susan.
It is Susan from snowy Columbus, Ohio. Sadatul from Bangalore.
Wow.
Rachel's here from Chicago. Stephen from Chile, Austin, Texas. Good to have you here. Daniel from Quebec. Garay from Hungary. So glad to have you here. Gary's here from Tucson. JC Sewell's here from a sunny and relatively hot 80-degree Key West, Florida. Mike's here from Madison, Wisconsin. It's also snowbound. Kathy's here from a snowy Colorado and a beautiful sunny day. And Willie from frozen Boston. Willie, what's happening? Willie! I know Willie.
There you go.
Willie's awesome. Willie's the king.
Willie.
All righty, well, we're glad to have you guys here. Don't forget to leave us a comment and tell us what you want to win today, whether you want to win Roberto's book on business, the street photography book from Valerie,
we got the Lightrolight.
Thank you. The Lightrolight, the gooseneck, the portfolio, the board. Lots of stuff today.
Yeah, optics.
Man, we give away a lot of stuff. We're very loose, apparently, with stuff. All right, ready to look at some shots?
Yes,
here we go. Let's go.
Okay.
All right. You got 1 out of 3. So, well, first off, none of these are bad.
No, because you definitely have a ball in every one of them.
Yep, you got a ball. That's good.
That's the good thing with sports photography.
But look
That's
at
like
this
the
center
number
one
thing.
2 eyes and a ball, and it's an action play.
That's the shot.
That's the shot. You're
of
down
all
low.
Those, that's the shot.
Look at the low angle.
Yeah.
You got the background nice and out of focus.
Yep, that's
He's
the
got
shot.
a great expression. He's catching the ball. This is right across it's money.
That's it.
Right across the board.
That's it.
This one, it's someone chasing after a soccer ball, and your white balance is funky. And then this is someone else chasing after a soccer ball. Those are not peak moments of action. What you're looking for is more of this. Like, they need to be connecting with the ball,
Or
just chasing.
The other one where like they were kicking the ball. If they were actually making impact to the ball. Or if somebody else was attacking with them.
Ideally you would have 2 people, but this is
there.
such a good shot. This is like king of shots. Now, if it were me, and it is, I would go to the adjustment brush. I would brighten his face up just a tiny bit. Because really, his expression is great.
Oh, yeah. He is fixated on that ball.
Yep, and maybe brighten his arm a little so it all looks kind of contiguous. That's a sloppy job, but you get the idea. This is a terrific shot, though. This is the shot every parent would, like, you can name your price.
That's it.
How much do you want for Johnny, who hits dingers?
As long as Johnny caught that ball.
Right.
As long as that ball went into Johnny's glove and he caught it.
Anybody catch that dingers comment? Anybody out there? No? Okay. This one, unfortunately, is just her looking at a ball.
Yeah.
And
plus
you got
those
lawn
2
chairs
seats in the background. Yeah.
You could at least, at the very least, get rid of the lawn chair. Now, don't get me wrong. There is not a parent that you will give these to that you wouldn't love to, because it's their kid.
Absolutely.
And these are cute kids and they're playing ball and all. It's totally cool. So if you say, well, the parents liked it.
Well, you have to.
They
so
did.
that's a big thing with photography too, is disconnecting yourself from the subject of photography. That happens in my photography a lot. People comment because they see like a rocket going off, and it's like, well, it's a rocket going off. It's a cool shot. But they're not really talking about the photograph. They're talking about the subject.
What the subject's
So
doing.
in that case, the parent's going to love any picture.
Yeah, they are.
Any picture
My
of their
kid.
kid.
Yeah.
Any.
So
That still doesn't make it a great
doesn't make it a good picture, but you can make them better. Number one is you got to get in a spot where you avoid those lawn chairs. It's just part of the job. It's just part of the sports photography thing is literally avoiding those. That's number one. Here, there's just not much going on, and the background's a little busy, and your white balance is very funky. So something's funky with the white balance. I don't know what it is, but it's not right. Maybe adding some yellow in, or
it's definitely got greens and
it's got
blues.
a green cast to it.
Greens and blues. Yeah,
somewhere in there is a better.
It's getting better, but look at how much you had to adjust it. It was way off.
Let's see.
Off.
Yeah, let me see if I put them side by side here. Yeah, see how far off, how blue that was? Because she was, I guess it was a cloudy day. She's, on a cloudy day, your white balance is going to cast towards blue. So anyway, you're capable of taking a killer shot. So let's take more of those.
Killer shot in there.
Yeah. All right. Moving on.
All right.
These are a little small. Let me open them up in camera raw so we get a decent size out. I would like this one if her fingers weren't cut off.
Right there.
I like your post-processing. I think the post is good.
And that's my favorite shot out of them.
Yeah, hands down.
It's just, the
low
hand
angle,
being like right
it's
on
interesting.
the edge.
However, there's a lot more going on here than you need, actually. You don't need that much ground.
No, you can bring it in, yeah.
And I think that's a much stronger crop.
Well, it also helps with their hand being so close, cropping it in closer.
So here's what you could do, and I've had to do this a couple of times because of mistakes that I've made in the past. You could take that hand, flip it horizontally, extend this out. It would be easy to have content where fill this. Do I have to do it?
I don't think so. We got to get to other ones. But
right.
the point
Select
being,
that, flip it over, put it there to get those fingertips.
You can repair it. However,
this is fixable.
If we just manage that in camera, you don't have to do that.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about being a Photoshop whiz.
Yes.
This shot, very small shot. Let's see if I can make it bigger. The lighting, it's just a little bright. Can I back off one, or will it let me just? All right. The lighting is just a little bright on her. It looks like you lit it with a flash. So let's bring the highlights down to try to help that. Look at what just dropping the highlights did. All right, I'm going to put them side by side so you can see just what the highlights did. So it doesn't look so flashy. Now I may was a little too aggressive with my highlights. There we go. But that flash was way too hot.
But even just right there, that really calmed it down.
But the problem is, we have a problem beyond that, in that she's not giving you anything for expression. You don't feel engaged with her. It's just kind of like, is this over yet? Can we get this over with? It's just, it doesn't look happy. Doesn't look sad. It just looks kind of annoyed.
Yeah, that's the look is almost annoyed.
Yeah, so she's just really not giving you anything. Now, you might say, just as talking about a moment ago, you might say, well, that's all I could get out of her. Your job is to get more out of them.
Photography is hard.
Yeah, photography is hard. And this is the kind of stuff that literally is hard, is trying to get that something out of your subject.
That's what you could, this is the thing of portrait photography that drives me nuts. Like, that's the way I avoid it with the plague. Like, if I'm going to do a portrait, it's going to be an astronaut with a helmet on, because I don't have to worry about expressions.
Our last one here, she's giving you attitude, and this is actually a much better expression. It's nicely lit. It's a little hot on this side of the face.
It's hot. It's still that.
You might want to pull that back a bit.
Yeah.
And also pull the flash down a bit. You can just make it look more natural. But still, this is good. This is going in the right direction. I would love to see that background a lot more out of focus, though.
Is that a watermark down at the bottom? What is that?
They blurred it though.
Oh, okay.
They blurred their watermark. While you were blurring, hit that background. Because if you get that background a little more out of focus, I like where you're going with your lighting. Just turn your dang flash down. I usually tell people a quarter power on a location to an 8.
That seems like both of those stops, or both of those were about at least a half stop.
At least a half.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, that's where you're at. But I like where you're going, so stick with it. I think your stuff's pretty good.
Yeah. So far, so good.
Get your flash looking a little more realistic.
So far, so good.
So far, so good. All right. All right. So this is an interesting set.
Yeah, but I can already tell with the thumbnails they're decent.
Yep. And look at this, a nice reflection, nice mountains, an interesting place, kind of an interesting sky, even though it's not super cloudy. It's kind of interesting. I think this is very nicely done.
I like that.
That, I think, is really nicely done. I've seen a lot of people do this and not pull it off nearly this well. So very nice.
Yeah, that's great.
What the heck happened here? Can this be the same photographer that took these two?
Yeah, your style's all over the place.
Yeah, like, this is really good. Landscape, nature.
Well, those two, the first two you could kind of make an argument. You can kind of make it, but once you get to the third one, you're right, it falls apart.
This one, it does not belong in here. So this looks like you were at a taverna, you're on vacation, it's really dark, the lighting's horrible, you took a shot. It would be okay in a different context, but still, it's just not a great shot. These are great. These are really nicely done. And this last one,
lighting, the angle's weird.
The angle's weird. It's not flattering. The lighting is split lighting.
Yeah, well, the light's coming right from that is being blown out.
So here's what it is. You're seeing something in this shot that someone who wasn't there is not seeing. Like, you remember that, oh, it was a great night. My wife and I were there. My husband and I were there.
Just like the kid catches the ball if you're the parent, or the kid kicking the soccer ball.
We're having this great night. And, oh, my gosh, the wine
that was a winning goal. That was awesome.
You're seeing all this, and I'm seeing this isn't a very good picture. So you're seeing something in there.
I bet the wine was great that night.
Yeah,
the food was great.
Appetizer. Remember that cheese
the
appetizer?
You could probably smell it. You could probably smell it.
Smell it! Hey, speaking of that, it is time for a break.
We cannot smell it.
It is time for a break, but before we go, don't move for a second, because I want to tell you about something magical I talked about on my blog, but it's a very specific thing, so give me a second to pull it up. Hang on, I got to go back a couple of days. I think it was last Friday. Hang on. I write a lot of stuff, so it takes a minute to get there. Yes, okay. So last Friday, you can see my screen here. I did a part of my post, so I recommended all kinds of different stuff. But in there, I said, this has nothing to do with photography, but you'll thank me. So you've seen these in the stores. It's White Castle, and they're frozen.
Right in the frozen section.
All right, but can I tell you something? I kind of dismissed them because I'm thinking, how good can they be? They're frozen little burgers. Listen, these are the most deceptive frozen burgers you've ever had. Have you tried these, the frozen ones?
No, we've talked about this.
I'm telling you guys, and I gave you my recipe. You got to follow my recipe.
Okay.
Here's the recipe. So what you do is you take them. They come in little packages of 2, and you break them in 2. So they're frozen together.
Yeah.
And you snap them, and they're in 2. And you open the end of the bag. You put it in the microwave for 1 minute, 60 seconds. Just 60 seconds. Take them out, flip open the buns, and you only add 2 things. French's mustard, like straight up yellow mustard, not German mustard. I love German mustard, don't get me wrong. Not deli mustard.
Yep, straight up.
Straight up French's. Do not add ketchup. I know you love ketchup. I love ketchup. Don't ruin this burger. All it gets is mustard and pickles. Back in the microwave for 15 seconds. What will shock you is the bread tastes like it just came out of the oven. I mean, it's fresh. I don't know how they do it. It's freaking a frozen block. But if you do it like I just told you to do and only put on pickles and mustard, it's like going to White Castle. I kid you not.
It's probably the same thing they do at White Castle.
It's probably what they do at White Castle. They go to the freezer, they pop them in the microwave. I don't know, but I'm telling you what. So my son came over the other day, and I said, I'm going to make you something. You know, for him, it's a snack. 2 little burgers is a snack. And by the way, if you just have 2, they're plenty filling. They're not high in calories. It's like 320 calories. They're not high in carbs. It's not high in anything. It's like 25 carbs. You know, it's like, it's really shockingly.
It's whatever's in that bread. It's probably not good for you.
It's probably not good for you. I didn't say, hey guys, I got a health food tip for you. Hey, Susan says, but are they as good as spray cheese on chicken on a biscuit? Susan, it would be the perfect complement to where the spray cheese and chicken on a biscuit would be a side. So you get the burger and then some chicken and a biscuit. Anyway, long story short, if you try this, so I made them for my son, and he was like, Dad, these are out of this world. How can that be? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we've just been in like pandemic for so long that it's just like it tastes like real something. I don't know.
And like they say, photography is hard.
Photography is hard. And so are the buns when you take them out of the freezer.
There you go.
Okay, that's the new quote on Twitter. Erik Kuna, photography is hard, but so are the White Castle buns when you first take them out of the freezer.
There you go.
That's the full quote if you want to tweet that. Okay.
Yes, please misquote me on that.
When we come back, coming up next, we've got more images, more stuff, and maybe even another recipe.
Bonjour, mesdames et messieurs. My name is Sir Germany. I'm a French photographer living in Los Angeles, California, and I'm a fine art artist. I love Sneak Peek because you can host all your photos online. You can share the best one through albums with incredible privacy settings. For example, you can just share an album to like 3 people or for just a number of hours. They have amazing watermarking on the fly where you can just change your mind in watermark and redo the watermark or take it out and it's instant on all your photos. Having an official portfolio is so vital today. Now they have an amazing launching deal where for just taking the basic subscription we're offering now, which is roughly $15 a month, you're going to get a professional designer to do your website for you. All you have to do is fill in a form with a few data and you're good to go. A designer will design your website for you. So if you don't like web design, this is a great opportunity. I think we're better off taking photos and learning how to do HTML and CSS and getting the most perfect website ever. I mean, even if you were to go the route of WordPress, which I did for many years, having a WordPress is free, but you need to host a WordPress. And a good hosting service is between $10 to $20 a month. So all you have to do is click the link below and get the offer. You will get the special price, which is 50% off for the first year, but you're gonna get it for life. So get it now. I love my Sleeping website. I love the business that it drives me, and I want the same success for you. Get it now.
For over 20 years, leading software developer Boris FX has made its mark on the film and television industry. Now, for the first time, our Academy and Emmy Award-winning visual effects tools are available for photographers. Welcome to Optics. Optics is a collection of 160 filters for Photoshop and Lightroom. Simply apply the effect and launch the interface. Optics features thousands of customizable and creative presets for photo editing and effects layering. The top tools include lens flares for cinematic looks, realistic night skies with star fields and moon generator, add lightning with on-screen interactive control. The Easy Mask tool creates masks with just a few clicks. Optics is available now as a plugin for Photoshop and Lightroom and includes the standalone application for macOS and Windows. Get Optics now for 15% off. Visit borisfx.com, add Optics to your cart, and apply coupon code KELBY15.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by Canon.
Hey, we're back. Scott Kelby here with the real Rocket Man, not some made-up Rocket Man. This is a real Rocket Man. Hey, you shot something. You showed me some pictures. Can you share them real quick?
I have to find them. Maybe on the next. After we come back from the next break, I'll have to find them.
But you just shot a night. Wasn't it a night launch?
Yeah, I had a night launch and a day launch.
Oh my God, the guy's got a lot of launches.
Launch.
Dude, what if you lived in like Louisiana or something? You'd be.
I would be doing it.
Would not be a good for. It's like if you want.
I got one tomorrow.
If you want to shoot celebrities, you don't want to live in Valdosta, Georgia. You want to live in Hollywood. You want to live in LA. You want to live in New York. If you want to shoot rockets, you want to live in Florida or Texas.
Well, Texas is only starting, but yes.
Yeah. All right. Yes. So we got more images. You ready to get into them? And then I got another little recipe for you.
All right. More images, then a recipe.
All right. So look at 3 images here. All right. So I think this one is way the strongest one of the bunch.
Oh yeah.
Now, I think if it were me, this is an interesting shot, so I would get rid of this. Remember how we got rid of that pole?
Yes.
You got to go right through the.
You're talking about the twigs
reed
that are coming up.
Yeah, the little stick coming through his head.
Right through his head.
And this one coming out of his head.
And then coming out looking like it's like
and this one's, just get rid of them.
Mohawk or something.
You can leave the other ones. But anyway, that's cool. This one, unfortunately, is straight up out of focus. It's a cool shot. It's out of focus. And if it's out of focus, like the eyes got to be sharp. And those eyes they're just very dull. It starts to get in focus over here.
It's making the whole image kind of dull.
Yeah, it makes the whole image kind of dull. Now, if it was sharp, what I would have recommended is 2 things. Number 1, let's warm up the white balance a little bit. Because you're shooting in the shade, it's almost always going to be blue. Then I would go and darken all those areas that are around him. First, pull back the highlights because it's really bright on this, back here, and that you don't want him to work back here. I would brighten his face like you would a portrait. Bring some more light into the important part. Okay. Topaz might be able to help this, right?
Yeah, Topaz. Hey, and speaking of Topaz, we'll talk about that in a sec.
Yeah, we got a thing. I'm going to add another one. And then I would go and I would darken all this stuff around it. Because none of that is really helping you. All these areas, that was not meant to scroll like that. I don't know what just happened.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely use sharpen to kind of bring back the detail.
There's something here. And this last one's nice. I mean, it's okay. It's a varnish kind of. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that so many times. Now I tell you what would help this. Let's do this. Let's just go hit the auto button and see what that does. Look at that, just the auto button. So here's a before and after. Let's look.
Yeah, it's not bad.
But here's what we're going to do. You ready? You want to supercharge this photo? Here we go. Go to Photoshop, and it got 2 steps.
You were going to say supercharge that photo. You go at a different time of day.
Yeah, go to a different time of day would certainly help. But this isn't terrible because it's kind of in the clouds.
It's not bad.
Oh, it's not the right time. It's not the right time of year either, but it's about to be.
Yes.
Here's what we're going to do. Duplicate.
Oh, yes. We're going to
duplicate the layer.
The season.
Go to lab color, LAB color. Just 2 steps. That's step 1.
This would be better when it's starting to get cold out.
Yep. And step 2, go to apply image. Choose overlay as your mode. And for your channel, choose B. And up it's fall.
Fall, done.
Now, it's a little heavy, so you're going to pull that back,
that off.
right? You're going to back down the opacity. So it's not quite. There we go. Now you're talking maybe 58%. You're talking, a little fall color for you.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Anyway, none of them are bad. The middle one is definitely the strongest by far, and it would be worth you taking your time with that shot. It would be definitely worth you taking your time to fix that up a little because you're like right on him, and it's sharp and all that stuff. So good job, though.
Yeah, definitely.
I like you're in the right vein. Just keep going where you're going. Stuck the landing. That's the caption. Wouldn't you think that would be the caption?
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the first 2. The problem we have here is strictly that you're not shooting at a low enough f-stop to take that background should be, you shouldn't see anyone's face.
I can pick out people in the background.
Yeah. The background is killing your shot. That background should be so out of focus that now I'm gonna show you what I mean. We're gonna hack this. It's not gonna be nice. But let's go and see if we can use select subject to get just her. That's not so bad. All right, let me. It got a little bit at the front of that.
We're gonna fake.
All right, so let's put her on our own background. That background behind her should be blurry at a level like. Whoops, I'm on the wrong layer. Not good. Like that. Like you should see that you can tell that there's people back there. But that's
can't really tell.
Now it looks fake because it's a Gaussian blur.
Yes.
But that's the kind of separation that you want. If you go look at really great gymnastics photos, that background behind them has got to be way out of focus. So you either need to rent a closer lens. If you don't have a long lens, go rent one. And then once you've zoomed in really tight, like you're at 400 or 500 millimeter, then you're going to shoot at the lowest numbered f-stop you can to get that separation from the background.
What was that shot at? Because I saw.
Let's see if we can see
metadata there.
Let's see if we can see the metadata, as Erik Kuna would say. It's at 2.8.
Right.
But it's
the problem is
70 to 200.
200.
And you're not close enough.
What were they at?
So that's got to be cropped into death.
But what millimeter are they at?
They're at 86 millimeter.
So if they walked backwards, because you probably want that frame,
Get back further.
Get back further. So this is one thing. Is
all
a lot of
in.
times we think this is what trips up people a lot of times, especially in sports or action and stuff like that. They'll think, well, I get closer to the action, but what happens as you get closer to get that frame, you got to go wider. Well, you're not going to get as much depth of field, so you want that compression. So if they backed up a little bit, zoomed into 200, those people would be
beautifully out of background, out of focus. At 200, that's 86, and they're somewhat out of focus. Imagine at 200.
200, yeah.
All right, so that's an easy fix.
That's where you need to get.
And you're going to have the same situation here. The timing's good.
I imagine if we look at the metadata, it's going to be a wider shot. It's not going to be really in tight.
78. Ooh.
That's it. And you have a 70 to 200. The thing is, you probably should be using the 70-200 at 200.
At 200.
Constantly.
Yep.
I mean, you bought a 200 f.
You got the right shutter speed.
You bought a nice lens.
This is a great moment. This hand coming up here, though, is just awkward.
Yeah.
Where's it growing from? His leg. But you got the right moment You need that background more out of focus. I think you're seeing the theme here.
Yeah, I also wonder if that would be better, but cropped in a little bit more.
57. I was thinking the same thing. 57 millimeter ain't going to get it done. All right. Now, you will also see basketball shots where everything is in focus, but then it's usually a wider shot. You do lose a sense of height with it here.
Yeah.
Still might be a stronger shot.
Still a stronger shot, yeah.
We're going to have to sharpen this bad boy up, though. It needs some sharpening for sure. Yeah, you know what? It's kind of a little bit of a funky shot, but it's not bad. But you know what you got to do? Easy stuff. It's not buy new equipment. Sam says, "Hey-o." Hi, Sam. He goes, "I always love blind critiques. I learned today that photography is hard." It is hard, but it's not as hard as okay.
It's those little things, right?
It's always the little things,
it's always
right?
Little things.
Let's look at another one real quick before we jump off the break. Now look at that. Come on, that's a nice shot.
That's great.
That's so nice. Sleeping
Fox. You know why we like that? Because it's simple.
It's simple. The simplicity of this shot is wonderful.
Because you know why? That's very hard. It's very hard.
Yep. This is nice, too, the way the little cub is looking out.
Yeah.
I would just clean it up because, look, you got this twig here that's not helping the shot.
It's really bright. It's really bright, so that's why it takes away. If it was dark, you wouldn't really see it.
Yeah, but that's easy to get rid of. I think I'd get rid of these two up here. They're not helping. And maybe brighten the bear's face just a tiny bit. But that's good shot.
That's a good shot.
Just needs a little bit of Photoshop.
First one's a great shot.
That's really cute too.
Yeah.
So this is a wild beast.
Yes. Wow.
That's a beastie. That's cute. But look,
it's in its natural habitat.
You got this thing going right into his mouth. Get rid of that. Get rid of that out of focus thing. This out of focus thing. Look at this out of focus thing going right over his eye. Yep. You're gonna go, but where am I gonna get an eye to fix that one? Right there. Flip it horizontal. And then you're going to have to physically move the
it's either that or you're going to have to physically
light.
move in the camera.
Yeah, but this is good. You're
good
really
you're
rocking it.
The first one is great.
The first one is phenomenal. The first one's entering competition.
That's competition. Yeah, that's definitely competition stuff.
Absolutely.
Right there.
However, can I say something? I think maybe you need a little bit of more yellow in it. It looks a tad. See, now that's white. It was a little bluish.
Yeah,
Take
it might
a look.
be our screen's differences too.
No, I think that's.
Yeah, it's.
I saw that blue. I saw that blue.
Yeah,
you know, if it doesn't look white, like you ask yourself, is that really white?
Yeah.
And it was a little blue. Now, the reason I see this is only because I've done so many white balance corrections. After a very short time, you'll open up the image and go, that's blue. Oh, that's got too much yellow. But it only happens from fixing it. And sometimes, especially at the very beginning, you'll go, well, is my white balance right? Move it over to yellow or move it to blue. And you'll go, oh my gosh, I thought it was okay and it's not. That's how you learn. So it is one of those learned things that the more you do it, you do it. All right.
Yep.
I've got a recipe for you. Now, this is for people who are very carb conscious.
Okay.
So that's why I only eat 2 of those burgers, because I've lost 22 pounds this year.
This isn't a photo recipe.
I'm down 22 pounds this year by still eating good food. I still want to eat tasty food.
Right.
But I've been watching my carbs and watching my calories. Carbs way more than calories. Sometimes the calories. But it's worked. So
I know, but bread's awesome.
Okay. So here's the thing. This is a trick you got to pull. Step 1, you got to go to the grocery store and get this. So these are flour tortillas from Mission. They're called the Mission Carb Balance. What do they taste like? Just like regular tortillas. Just like them. Look at this, though.
With less carbs.
Look. 3 net carbs. Now, then you go to Moe's and order the Home Wrecker Bowl. So you're not going to get a flour tortilla. It's not going to be a burrito.
It's just going to be the stuff inside it.
It's a burrito inside a bowl. Then you go home, you open it, and you scoop that stuff with a spoon right into it, roll it up, put it in the microwave. 20 seconds, maybe 25, depending on how, 20, 25 seconds. It tastes just like going to Moe's. Now, you can also do this.
It kind of is like going to Moe's, but with a carb conscious.
You can also do this with Chili's fajitas. Same exact thing. Order their steak fajitas. The steak's not going to have any carbs in it. Order the grilled chicken. Not going to have any carbs in it. It comes with onions and peppers. Don't eat the rice. They now give you rice. They didn't used to, but now they give you a little bit of rice with it. If you eat the rice, it kind of wrecks everything else you've done. So leave the rice. But it comes with sour cream and cheese and onions and peppers, and you can get a combo with half steak, half chicken. Use those flour. You can have 3 of those, and it's only 12 carbs. Come on, people. It's good stuff. I wouldn't lead you wrong because I'm still trying to find a way to eat yummy stuff.
All right, there we
go. All right,
go.
I've got one more for you on the next break. But coming up next, we got more pictures and another recipe that's gonna knock your socks off.
Erik Kuna here with the new Kelby 1 class. We're talking about the Canon EOS R5 in this class. So the new R5 from Canon, this is a awesome still camera, but even more, it is an awesome video camera. So we're gonna go over in this class all the buttons, all the dials, all the menus, and getting like the real world, this is how all the menus, here's the systems, here's the buttons, here's the dials, here's the modes. This camera is awesome for somebody with stills that needs that resolution for their photography, either for high-end commercial work, we need that resolution, or you're shooting a subject where you find yourself cropping a lot, getting in tight, and then when you switch it into video mode, you have an awesome video camera on top of that. So not only do you have a still camera, but you've got a top-of-the-line awesome video camera that shoots up to 8K resolution, all the way down to 4K to full HD, plus you're gonna get high frame rate and be able to shoot 4K at 120 frames per second. So if you've got your hands on this camera and you wanna learn more about this, check out my new class over at kelby1.com.
Would you believe us if we told you that you could fit studio lighting in your pocket? Well, Lytra has made it possible. Lytra is a global award-winning brand that designs and manufactures professional-grade camera lights that are compact, rugged, and waterproof. Whether you're using Lytra gear in a photo studio or underwater, Lytra's mission is to provide content creators with flexible and unlimited lighting tools that can mount on any camera, anywhere. Their lights come with a high CRI or color rendering index, making them some of the most color accurate lights in the industry. Due to the light's compact and rugged design, photographers are able to use the lights in ways that their studio lighting never could. Lytra has also made multiple lighting accessories available to fit your every need as a creator. Whether you're shooting portraits, nailing a product shot, or even flying your drone, they have got you covered. Lytra enables photographers and filmmakers to focus on their craft and create something beautiful. What will you create?
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by Platypod, the world's most compact tripod base.
Make sure you don't miss any episodes of The Grid by subscribing to Apple's podcast app or iTunes. It's free, and we even have a special audio-only version too. So sign up today.
Hey, we're back with our holiday recipe show. And yes, I've got I got a tasty recipe. Most of these should be for after the holidays, because after the holidays is when we really need this stuff. Right now,
oh my goodness.
After the holidays, we're going to need it big time. All right.
Hey, speaking of recipes, we got a big recipe. A recipe for saving money.
Yes, go with that.
So, Topaz, right? So speaking of recipes, Topaz is really easy. We've been talking about like sharpening and all that stuff. They have their plugins like Sharpen AI. We've seen that before on the show. They had a deal that ended up going away. However, now they have another deal that's come back, and we just got word that we can get even more of a deal. So right now they have going on, Topaz has a 30% off holiday sale going on. So right now 30% off. However, I know Christina has a code and has a link that if you use the code and the link, you get an additional 15% off. So you've got the 30%, plus you're gonna get an extra 15% off. So if you're ever, and also the other thing that's cool about it is it works not only for all the Topaz products, but also upgrading as well. So if you need to upgrade from older versions, it works as well. So I think Christina's gonna throw that in the chat. She'll throw the link, and as long as you use the code, you use the link, you'll get additional 15% off of their discounted already 30% off. Now, I have to tell you, the deal lasts through January 1st, because last time we had a deal like this, we announced it, a bunch of people waited, and then it had already expired, and then they're contacting us like, hey, we really want that deal. And it's like, well, it already expired, sorry. So there you go.
There you go. All right. Well, thank you to Topaz. All right, we got some
comments.
And I'm
going to I'll post all those links also in the Kelby One community. So in the Kelby One community, there's a link right there. So.
Lovely. All right, a couple of comments here. Tracy says, I've learned so much today. Photography is hard, and nothing beats fresh bread from the oven. Tracy's right. Fresh bread from the oven. Yeah. But fresh bread from the oven also is packed it's awesome, with carbs, but it's so good. E.A. Collins says, can we please get a Kelby t-shirt with photography is hard?
Yes. Well, let me qualify that statement. Photography itself is actually very easy.
Yes.
Good photography is hard.
Good photography is hard.
For you to go say, that's a good photograph, that's a great photograph, that's when it gets hard.
Good photography takes effort.
It's hard. It takes effort. It's putting in those weird hours or weird times or going and buying props or finding locations. Yep. It's hard.
All right, James has a question. James says, my internet went down for a couple of minutes. Did the Rocket Man have tips on shooting the Christmas star on the 21st? And he can't remember which two planets make up the Christmas star.
Oh, yes, the Christmas star. So this is an interesting one. So I've been working on this as well. I was actually shooting last night because here in Tampa it was pretty clear. So you have Jupiter and Saturn. So Jupiter and Saturn are at the points where they're converging. So that's what the Christmas star is. It hasn't happened this well since the Middle Ages. So this is a very rare event that they get this close to one another. So next week on Tuesday, they will be less than a degree off of each other. So tips for shooting it. Honestly, it's if you're shooting it wide, it's going to be no different than shooting any wide angle night or twilight shot. What we're going to want to do is look to the south, the southwest. So wherever the sun is setting, Jupiter and Saturn are going to kind of be in line with that. That's how it lines up right now. So if the sun's setting, it's going to be right after sunset. The farther north you are, the closer it's going to be to the horizon. The farther south you are, the more up in the horizon. So just look to the southwest. And then the tip is either shoot those wide night shots where you're using the Christmas star as like an addition to your landscape, your night shot. If you're actually wanting to zoom in and see Saturn and Jupiter that close, my tip is the longest lenses you have with the most teleconverters you have, getting it as close as you can or getting it on a telescope. You want to be in, from what I can tell already, testing out, you want to be in at least about 1,000 millimeters. So to kind of get that. And the other thing you probably want to do is look at taking different exposures, because you can actually get right now, so the other thing that's going to happen is, so you've got Jupiter, and then the 4 moons of Jupiter are lined up, pointing to Saturn. So you've got all this kind of happening in one frame. So there you go.
And Jupiter.
And the best thing with the settings is just basically whatever you can do for the fastest exposure, for the lowest ISO, for the lowest time to not have the planets blur, which is usually less than a second. So there you go.
The stars. This is the dawning of the age of. This is so.
You don't need a star tracker. I shot it last night with and without a star tracker. The only difference with the star tracker is you're going to keep it in your frame longer, and you're going to be able to expose longer with the star tracker. But I was able to expose it just fine. I was down at like 1/30th of a second, and just taking shots. It's just you've got to be pretty. You got to boost your ISO more, and you've got to go with. Slower shutter speeds if you don't have a star tracker. That's the only difference. So yes, you can get it with or without a star tracker. It's actually, it's very cool. It's a cool shot because it's low on the horizon. It's just very interesting. And like I said, it hasn't happened for hundreds and hundreds of years to be this close.
Okay.
So there you go. That's
there you go.
That's the nerd alert. Nerd alert.
All right, very important. The new Warzone map dropped today for Call of Duty Black Ops. The new Warzone map is a small island But it's very cool. It started today. I downloaded it last night.
Yeah, see, my Call of Duty is Star Trek and stuff, yeah.
My
daughter just thought it was so
Let's
cool.
Look at some images. What do you say we look at some images?
My daughter just thought it was so cool that we could actually see the rings of Saturn from our backyard.
The rings of Saturn. A great name for a band. Here we go.
There you go.
Let's take a look. All right, we got 3 shots here. Un, deux, trois. You know what? These are really good.
It's the same photographer.
Same photographer, obviously.
Same photographer.
Same style. Great styling.
They've put effort into the styling.
Yep.
Into the background.
Great poses.
And then the posing. I mean, it's fun.
The lighting's good.
It's fun.
Everything's good. The only thing that I would do, if I had my druthers, is move the subjects away from the background so you don't get that shadow.
I was going to
because the shadow's kind of distracting. But outside of that, you get them 6 feet in front of that background, and you won't see those shadows. But very nicely done. The only other thing I might consider, this is a great from that angle, but these other ones I might get a little lower, just a little lower. But I mean, I'm just nitpicking. These are great. This is a really sharp.
Yeah, the only thing I would have said is that same thing with the background, is getting them a little separation, especially on on those 2 red backgrounds. But
very nicely done.
Overall, great stuff.
That's a pro, man.
Great stuff.
That's a pro. Let's look at one more, and then we're gonna do some prizes and stuff. Whoops, that one's empty. Not good. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right, so the good thing about these 3 is that they were very careful to shoot in nice light. Mm-hmm. The light is soft and flattering, so you don't have anybody squinting or anything like that. That's cute. That's kind of nice. I don't need to see all this up here because it's really about them. So if it were me,
distracting that top.
Yeah, it is distracting. I think I would get it in here on them. Yep. But it's cute, it's nice. The light is flattering again. It's cute. It's a little dark. You might want to open up the highlights the shadows just a tad. It is a bit dark. Maybe a little brighter. Mm-hmm. There we go. Something like that. And just that little bit would kind of brings out her hair. You can see him and his shirt better. His hair's separated from the background. But they're all nice shots. And the last one over here, of course, that's very cute. And the background's nice and out of focus. And they're all good. You're doing a nice job. Mm-hmm. What would we say?
On the first one and the last one there, would you bring the focus of the light maybe into the eyes a little bit more?
Well, it's a little.
But again, that's just like little things.
Yeah, little stuff. But these are cute.
Little things.
So keep going down the route that you're on. You're on a good path. All right, let's do one more just to say we did, and then we'll wrap. Here we go. Oh, I'm glad we looked at these because I so like these. Well, I like 2 out of 3 of them. But look at the next one. Oh, I love that. That black sky, and I love the shapes and the patterns. This is such a graphical photo, right? This is really nice. That's really nice. Meh.
That one's weak compared to the other 2.
The sky's not good. I'd rather almost see.
It's distracting from what
it is. Super distracting.
Is. Yeah.
Yeah. These 2 were terrific, though. The simplicity and all is very nice.
I really love the first one.
The first one. Yeah, I really like the first one. And I love her for scale. Mm-hmm. And then there's this one I really like. I love these both. They're great. And you got a series going on here with the simplicity, and then this gets really busy and messy. Go with the simple.
You could definitely change out that sky.
Yeah, it would be easy enough to change the sky. However, the sky's not the only problem.
No, but the sky definitely is the most distracting part of it.
All right. So we'll have part 2 tomorrow. Next Wednesday, a week from today, is part 2. So we'll have a bunch more then. But let's give away some prizes. Rixie says, "Thank you for the feedback on my gymnastic images." And I can't see what else because it's too. Move back and shoot closer to the 200 millimeter. I will admit to trying to get as close as I can, but I'll be working on using your suggestions. Rick, you'll see an immediate difference. When you see the separation from that background, you're going to fall in love with it. Okay. Here we go. Roberto's book goes to Connie Decatur. Congratulations, Connie. We'll be sending you that. For the Lytra Light, congratulations to Kathy Carson Newman. Let's see. The goosenecks go to Debbie. And Debbie is going to be giving them as a door prize for her Camera Club Awards virtual banquet. Very nice.
There you go.
People will love to get that. And Lisa Vitello, you're going to be getting the street photography book. And
Stuart is Boris.
oh, there we go. And for the Boris effects, congratulations to Stuart Greenberg. You got that. And the Slick Pick account. Hiya, Slick Pick for me goes to Karen Larson Benton. And can you scroll back up again? I didn't say the person's full name for this other one, just in case. There's Debbie Lloyd Burkheiser. So that's who won the gooseneck. So congratulations, Debbie. Congratulations to everybody, and thanks to our sponsors for giving that cool stuff away. All right, I'm going to leave you with another recipe. Now,
all right, and then I'll leave you with one.
Okay, this is all in the low-carb vein still. All right, so the thing that I miss carby the most, I do miss bread, but I've got some things for bread, and I'm going to save some for maybe next week's show because I got some other things. But I miss pasta, dude. I love pasta. Now there are a lot of low carb pastas out there. I've tried them all, and they're all pretty much trash,
garbage,
dude. They're like terrible.
Pasta and carbs is kind of like
but this one was so highly rated. And it must be really good because people are marking it up on Amazon at 3 times the price. Okay. But if you go direct to the company, you can get it. It's the best I've had out there. It has made me not feel like I'm missing out on pasta. My favorite pasta is spaghetti. I'm a spaghetti and meatballs guy. On my birthday, spaghetti and meatballs.
All right.
Here's what it is. Go to the Great Low Carb Bread Company and just order their spaghetti. Now, what's weird about it is you got to go to their product search and search for it. It doesn't just appear under their products. You got to look for it. It's $7.99, and it has 4 servings in there. Now, those 4 servings are for 11-year-olds. You're going to want 2 of them. If you want a nice big plate of spaghetti for dinner, you're going to get 2 of them. You're going to eat 2 of the 4. You need a half a bag. So I cook the entire bag, and then I eat half, and I put the other half in the fridge for the next day. And I got a really nice meat sauce. Oh, it's so nice, Erik.
It's so nice.
I got it. Let me tell you the name of the meat sauce. It's just so good. And Publix has it, which is where we are. Publix is our great grocer. Let me give you the name of the meat sauce.
Straight from Publix, Italy.
So good. You're going to love it. It's a bolognese sauce is what it is. Let me tell you.
I'm getting hungry, y'all.
I know, right?
I know. I'm bringing the food today. It's really good stuff. Hold on. I got to give you the name of the sauce. Pasta sauce. Hang on. It is.
Yeah, because the pasta you can have,
Where
but the
is
secret, she's a mine.
Holy cow. It's not ragu. It's not prego. It's not an obvious one. Where the heck is it? It usually says buy it again, so that's how I know that. Rouse homemade bolognese sauce. R-A-O-S.
Yes.
Rouse.
Yeah, I see it.
And I read all these articles about what's the best one. Rouse rocks. But let me go back to the spaghetti, because let me tell you, what would half a bag of spaghetti, 4 ounces of spaghetti at once, what would that run? So it's an 8-ounce bag for $8. So you're going to figure it's $4 a meal. That's not bad. You can't even get. Do you know what a fry? My daughter likes fries. A fry at McDonald's is $4. It's $3.92, like with tax.
It's ridiculous anymore.
Right. So you're getting a whole spaghetti dinner for $4. It's not bad. But here's the thing. Let's look at the carbs. Okay. Let me zoom in. I'm going to have to zoom. All right. Oh, wait a minute. I just zoomed in on this a minute ago. Why isn't it letting me zoom in now? Here we go. It's 19 carbs, but it's got 12 dietary fibers. So you subtract the fiber from the carbs. It's 7.
Now we're getting into some nerdy carb stuff.
No, that's just standard carb stuff. 7 net carbs. So if you eat two servings, it's 14. 14 for a big plate of spaghetti.
He sounds like me talking about the Christmas star.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's the best. It is like eating spaghetti. Now, it takes 10 minutes to make. It says 8 to 10 to make it softer, 10 or 11. Go to 11. Go to 11 minutes. Boiling, 11 minutes. Erik, I'm telling you, it's just the best low-carb spaghetti I've ever. I love it. Love it, love it. But if you go to Amazon, they're going to be asking $19.
Wow.
And there's only one vendor, like nobody has it. So I go straight to them and buy it for $7.99, and man, it's so good. Now I will tell you this: I've had other of their products. Stick with the spaghetti. I've tried their other pastas.
Just the spaghetti.
The spaghetti in particular, for whatever reason, is terrific. And I've never looked to see what it's made of because it might freak me out. So if it's made of some weird vegetable, like it's made of people, it's Soylent Green, then I won't eat it anymore. So I don't want to know what it's made of.
I don't want to know.
Hey, by the way, somebody in the chat watching live was eating a mission carb, low carb.
Somebody was. We get confirmation of that
while we were on.
There we go.
All right, well, guys, we got to wrap up.
All right, yep,
we've run way over.
So
all right.
if you were into nerding out over the Christmas star, go over to the Kelby One community because we've been nerding out over there on it.
All right, did you have a recipe, or are you saving it for next week's show?
No, I was just going to tell people that the recipe is, if you're into the Christmas star stuff, go over to the Kelby One community. We're nerding out over there.
Oh, okay.
We're nerding out there over there like Scott's
that's a
talking about
photography
carbs.
recipe. Nobody cares about that crap. Photography is hard.
Photography's hard.
Anyway, thank you to our sponsors. Thank you guys for watching. We hope you are enjoying a very wonderful holiday season. We will catch you next week, same time, 1 p.m., where we will broadcast the continuation, part 2, of our blind photo critiques. We'll see you then. Take care, everybody. Bye, Mr.
Close your eyes and picture a faraway place you've never been. What city or country comes to mind? Paris? Venice? The Grand Canyon? Maybe it's Morocco, Rio, New York, or Hawaii. Now let's go a little bit deeper. Can you picture the delicious food there? What the people are wearing? Picture their smiles, the architecture, the museums. Don't forget the busy shopping streets and charming cafes. You can almost smell the delicious coffee and fresh baked bread. Vivid images like this can be more than just in your mind. They can be in your hands. That's why we love looking at travel photography and being able to capture travel images that are so captivating that they make people long to go there themselves, right there. That's truly a gift. When you create photos like these, you've inspired the viewer to seek out these new horizons, to have these wonderful experiences for themselves, and see these remarkable places in person. Creating beautiful travel images isn't luck. It's camera technique, it's creative expression, it's light and composition. And it's what you do after, in fact, in post-processing, that it all comes together to create simply unforgettable photographs. This January, you'll have an opportunity to learn for yourself exactly how it's all done, all online, where for 2 days, in 2 training tracks, you can totally immerse yourself in learning exactly how to create travel images that inspire, move, and impress. These photography masters will be sharing their latest techniques, their hard-earned secrets, and their post-processing wizardry during an event that will change the way you create travel images forever. All presented online, affordable and accessible. And it's for everyone who loves to travel and dreams of returning home with stunning images that capture the essence of their journey. This is the Travel Photography Conference, coming January 20th and 21. Your tour to making better travel images is about to take off.